attempt to play the song that I was singing at that little pond in the Sunshine Plaza parking lot. So yeah, let's figure this out here. So I might have composure. Hear that? Oh, it's the same satisfaction. You hear that? I'm kind of satisfied. Ah, I can breathe. It's good to have productivity. When the weather changes. Feels good to do this. This is how I digress. This is what I was doing that day. I don't know if this had qualified as somebody yelling about swastikas to people. Whew, at bystanders, but here we go. Isn't it ironic? Talk about freedom, hey, like you've got nothing to lose. You put yourself on the line, resort my views. You talk about leaving you, like every day. Every time I turn around, about my USA, like we've got nothing to lose. It's all heartache till you're standing in them shoes. Where you gonna run to? You go far and wide. Without freedom, fucker, you can't hide unless you believe you're free, yeah. Free, like me. Do what you want, like every day. Coast to coast now, babe, I make my way. I fly high, I run wild. I'm American, baby, and God's child. To breathe, yeah. talk about freedom, hey, like you've got nothing to lose. It's all hard and please standing in my shoes, yeah. Where you gonna run till you go far and wide? Because you committed a crime against me, dude, and you lied on paperwork. You can hide like me, 'cause I'm free, yeah. Because I don't tell lies, I don't cheat, I don't steal, I don't incapacitate people for selfish reasons, mean intent, or personal gain. And guess what? Mr. Romero, Mr. Martin, and Robin. See, that day, when you almost get hit by a drunk driver or somebody going to the liquor store at 9, 10 a.m., and then, you know, it's kind of disturbing. You got no sidewalks. There's a bus stop inside that parking lot with no medians or sidewalks or efficient and adequate signs to present that people are walking there. So anybody could just go cruising in the parking lot. And if you want to go down to the police perspective of it, if you want to do area profiling by breathalyzer and checkpoints, keep in mind in the perspective that there's a liquor store in that parking lot, and there's a bus stop in that parking lot, and there's a DMV in that parking lot, and there's people taking motor vehicle tests in that parking lot. You did me wrong, I'll make it right. You picked the wrong time to pick this fight. 'Cause I know pain, I know your game, and freedom will ring. And liberty and justice will reign. It's a great sunny day, and we'll make the best of it. It's a purge, but at the same time, it keeps going on. But if I wasn't doing this, I'd be doing something probably really awesome, productive, you know, for family and friends and stuff, further in my life. But it just bothers me, man. And you know what? Yeah, I have a right to say that it bothers me. And at the same token, if you could say that a man that dresses as a woman and gets his nuts cut off is justified to run in the Olympics against a woman, well, Mr. Romero, Mr. Martin, and Robin, I just like, why didn't Martin say, hey man, we already decided this, and then he comes out with the paper? Just saying. Accountability, dude. Okay? He's a lead follower, get out of the way. But right now, I got the deuces wild because I have America and I have freedom. And I have the values and the core context of America. And the fact that there's a evidence of a lie existing. You know, maybe you didn't listen to my words when I was talking and telling my side of the story, and you ejected yourself from the system, you dismissed yourself from that conversation. Okay, as I was talking to Rob Martin, you went in the car and decided ahead of time that you're going to put judgment against me that I was walking around yelling at bystanders about swastikas and caused 2 incidents, 2 disturbances. Well, Mr. Romero, maybe you thought that I was screaming about swastikas. Maybe if you would have listened to my word, you would have known that I was singing about that red, white, and blue flag that you do not deserve to have on your body. And you do not deserve to have taxpayer dollars. And the taxpayers and the public people need to know, just in case their son or daughter, or mother or grandmother, or aunt or uncle or grandfather, or mother or father, you know, and all that, if they get stopped by you, they could be in trouble because you are judgmental and you based my existence on your opinion that day, and you decided that Daniel needs to be threatened with arrest and he needs to have a mark on his record. For what, Mr. Romero? You know, maybe if you weren't like paying attention to me, you would have seen the guy coming cutting through the parking lot. And then if you had binoculars, I mean, because obviously, well, no, because you didn't hear my words, so you're not that like efficient and adequately job. Because you know, anybody from the situation would have seen that the guy had a bottle and came out of the liquor store.
and you know, that he did almost hit me, and that he was an asshole on top of that. And then they would have seen that the parking lot lady just started yelling at me, and they would have looked to say, you know what is he saying? Well, let me see. Let me look over there. You know what? Daniel's right. Robin should have took 5 minutes. You should have instructed her if you want to be boss hog. And then she should have looked at to see that I had a right to be there, okay, with an appointment. And then you should have looked and says, okay, he says there's no signs, and that's why it happened. Let's see. But, you know, you're working for the city, and you didn't get the cities back there. You didn't get the states back there. So it's just like, yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I'm writing still. I'm filing still, dude. I'm not going to let this go. This is my thing here. You saw me as an opportunity to write a piece of paperwork, Mr. Romero. I see this as an innocent opportunity that's safe, that really can't get me in trouble unless somebody wants to come out in their own personal time and try to attack me, in which self-defense will ensue, and whatever, dude. It's not a threat. It's a fucking notice, dude. Because I feel threatened by you. I feel threatened by that piece of paperwork. And in my internal affairs deposition, internal affairs notice, I ordered a restraining order against you. Because under the circumstances, that piece of paperwork and all that, that's shared by you guys, and if everybody else is biased as you. And then there's a past record of court cases being thrown out against me where cops made a mistake and they profiled me just the same as you, Mr. Romero, and they all look the same as you, too. It's very funny. You must hate little white guys like me that run around free-spirited, you know? But I write songs, Mr. Romero. I write songs that make people feel good about America. You know, when I fight and have to do stuff like this, I share it because I think it's a responsibility. And if I had known earlier and people would share stuff with me and they would have known about what it is to share it, then we wouldn't have this problem here today. And your job would be much more defined and valid, and you'd have an accommodation instead of a complaint. And an accusation based on fact that I need to correct something. And in order to do that, you have to be brought to the higher-ups because you didn't rescind or retract or dismiss the paperwork. And they allowed Robin to do so, and she decided not to after outside she did. And absolutely nothing changed but you giving me that piece of paper. So when Robin, me, and Martin were decided that it was okay, you know, and everything was going to be all right, you emerged with the paper. Then Robin's position changed because on the phone with Mr. Melody, you know, good man, you know, she's decided, no, I don't want it to rescind on. So, you know what? You guys are working together. And I'm going to push it as hard as I can. And I'm going to make it defined as hard as I can. Because if you got people like Bill Cosby getting off, you got people like O.J. Simpson and other murderers being let out and put away, innocent people, guess what? I have every right to look at this with a fine-tooth comb over and over and over again. And I'm going to pick it apart. And from the start, I'm just. So, void and amnetio. So, technically, anything I do from this point is valid because you picked the first bite. You threw the first stone. You offended me first. You attacked me first. You injured me first, dude. And I haven't even injured you yet. You know, what I did, I brought reality and accountability, and it's not a threat, and stating that there are consequences exist that are per your contract. And I do believe, you know, a basic understanding of it can be had by USC Title 18, Section 241 and 242. And that's double there, because not only the state backed you, okay, in writing that paperwork, but you, okay, accomplished a person, a private person on the private side, okay, and I know for a fact that there could be communication because of the body cam videos. So the fact that there's communication outside, it could be on private cell phones, that puts you in a conspiracy double time, dude. That's a double offense for the same exact thing. But one carries more of a weight because you're contracted by the city, where the other one is a private thing, because if you know, there was communication before, like I said in the last video, and cell phone stuff, that means that you can be charged as a citizen and a private person too. So there's not going to be no qualified immunity, dude. And you know what? You're supposed to be my peer. You're supposed to be there to protect and serve the community and build community, dude. And you don't even know what you're doing. You don't even know the definition and context of the realm of your job on the legal perspective. So technically, cops like you are just wasting our time in courts. They're destroying American families, and they're making you know, attorneys and public defenders biased against us because they follow, and the state's attorneys file this and say it just goes down the line. So you're the trigger man, dude, and everybody's protecting you because they're stuck in it. because your captain and stuff, they trust you on behalf of the people with their oath, dude. So once they trust you and you do something like this, and they're figuring that you're a trustable guy because you have coffee and see them and share donuts and boardroom meetings and have steaks with each other's wives and shit, you know, and probably go out and shoot at my customers' ranches and shit, and then they abandon me because they got cops coming and you know, like having shooting ranges with cops in their backyards, and then my customers, you know, dude, it goes deep, bro, and it, not necessarily you, but I'm just telling you how deep it gets, man. So you're aiding and abetting, and the captain and stuff, you know, they're not gonna contest you in your decision. So they file the paperwork on your behalf because they're trusting you, because the state trusted them, and then the state attorneys get it, and they're like, well, we trust the captain trusts him, so yeah, let's file it. And then here I go, and then people like me get hurt. And you know what? I'm bold, and I have managed to salvage a lot of my living life because I know how to do that in my organizational skill, okay, and composure. But at the same time, a lot of people are dying, dude. There's people committing suicide. There's people leaving families, and families are destroyed because of the stress between the people. You know, it takes a lot of mentality to understand. You don't just go back. We're not dumb. I don't eat grease and stuff like that, so I'm just like dense. I don't smoke cigarettes and drink all kind of alcohol and stuff, so I'm not dense, dude. I'm coherent, okay? One more for a growler. It's my tone. So, you think you can tell? Only cover I'll do on cut. Heading for the hill, blue skies from pain. Can you tell the defeat from the cold steel rain? Do you think you can forget? Nobody's perfect. Best thing you can do is give up. Every party. 'Cause I'm not going away today or any day. I came to play the American way without violence. In my dreams, having the best of times, living my life like I'm flying through the sky. And I'll be there again. I'll be there again. Yeah. I'll be there. As your friend, I'll be back. I hear Carlos Nakai in my brain with the birds, and I feel him blowing in the breeze, and I hear the whispers of the leaves in the trees, and I see past this reality into a dimension that is absolutely necessary. And as I walk in the valley of thorns, I know I will bleed, but my spirit is high, therefore I will succeed.